Did it, boys. Got a quad feed. ×2. Split ×3. Split ×4. Fuck yes. I did something honourable. Woo! What is going on, guys? My name is Peter Namby, whatever you know me by. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to some Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I have been loving this game so far, for the most part. I'm hoping you guys have been enjoying it too. Plan for today's video is very, very simple. We're literally just going to sit down, play some video games, and just talk about what I think, and hopefully what you guys will agree with, needs to happen with Modern Warfare next for it to continue to be as for it to continue to be as successful as its launch. So I don't know if you guys have seen on Twitter. If you're not already, you need to be following Charlie Intel because they're brilliant. They are really, really great. The team there, they come up with all the best news, they come up with all the best data. And today, they dropped this one. Activision has announced that Modern Warfare generated more than $600 million in revenue in 3 days, making it the most successful launch weekend for any Call of Duty title on this console generation. Following that, they also tweeted, in its first 3 days of release, Call of Duty Modern Warfare more than doubled the box office opening of Joker. Biggest digital release in Activision's history, highest digital pre-orders, and 3-day sales in PS4 history. That is some astonishing figures, right? So that just goes to show how much success they've had with this title so far, and it's literally not even been out for a week yet. All of this, may I add, without any supply drops or anything like that, which is amazing. So far, especially financially, they have had a very, very, very successful launch. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. Please do not expect some miracle gameplay from me while I record this live commentary. It's actually been ages since I've recorded a live commentary. So, yeah, I imagine I'm probably going to be playing pretty terrible. But that's not the point. The point is what we're going to be talking about. So far, the biggest complaints that people have been making about this game so far, almost all of them are about the general pace of the game. People saying that it takes way too long to find people and that games are too slow paced. You know, they'll play a full domination game, even whether it's 6v6 or 10v10, and end up maybe not even getting 30 kills, but still topping their team, which for a Call of Duty game is very, very unusual. From what we've seen, there's multiple things that are causing this. The first and most obvious one is the size of the maps. This is Piccadilly. I'm sure all of you guys have played it. If you haven't, it's quite a big map. This is one of the 6v6 maps. And despite it being 6v6, it is a very, very big map and very open. And despite it being really fun, probably one of my favorite maps on the game, it can be really difficult to find people or at least find some sort of momentum or flow throughout the map. That goes for a lot of other maps on this game as well. It seems the maps seem to be very, very big, especially on the 6v6 maps. Like, it seems just a bit too big to have like a fast-paced, action-packed 6v6 game on these maps. They could quite easily fix that whole issue in many different ways. The first thing is the minimap. So as you guys can see, there is a compass at the top that shows where enemy fire is coming from, but on the minimap, there's still no red dots. Like in every other Call of Duty, when people shoot with an unsilenced weapon, it'll ping a little red dot on their location of where they're shooting from. Clearly, that's something we've all been used to for absolutely years. That isn't a thing, on this game anyway. The other thing is this. That was a Kilo, which is an assault rifle, the first assault rifle you unlock, and it killed me in 2 shots across the map with a red dot sight. I'm using a sniper rifle, and I would have been more confident going into that gunfight with the same gun he had rather than with a sniper rifle. The time to kill is what I'm talking about. The time to kill on this game is super, super, super quick, which that just perfectly demonstrates. They've not had much time to go into like gun tuning and things like that and work on the weapon balance, but from what they've said so far, they've said that basically they're not really too fussed on the weapon balance. They don't really have much intention on making the guns feel that balanced either. They kind of like the idea of everything seeming quite overpowered and, you know, it just sort of adds to the classic fun Call of Duty Modern Warfare feel, which definitely there were elements of in Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 and things like that. I'm not doing very well here. I'm 2 and 12. With the combination of the maps being really big and the time to kill being so quick, it's leading people to use the big maps and the time to kill to their advantage and play really slow pace. People not really making too much of an attempt to sort of push forward and maybe, you know, get some kills in spawn and, you know, just churn the meat. People are far more happy on this game to sort of sit back and wait for people to come to them because, well, you can. The time to kill is so quick that if you see the other person first, like that, they're going to kill you. But that seems to be most people's main frustration. Obviously, there are other little bugs and things here and there that are making the game slightly less enjoyable and making it infuriating for various reasons. I'll have a whole new video on that. It's going to be an entire series. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. Okay, that was really weird. I just, like, DC'd off my game for a little while, but it seems we're back now, so let's continue. So, as I was saying, what can they add? What can they do? What can they change to try and meet the expectations of the consumers and try and make the game more fast-paced, make it more fun for everyone by having it just, you know, be a little bit more action-packed as people were expecting. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've actually spent quite a lot of time on private match on this game, just with my friends and even just with a few bots sometimes, playing the 2v2 gunfight maps for like free-for-all and like 6v6 and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, a lot of those maps are very, very small, but some of them play really, really well on 6v6, and I think they're brilliant. So I think one thing they can definitely do is start adding maps similar to that size into the game as DLC, as like extra maps. Maps like... There's a claymore there. I'm terrified. Excuse me. Okay, never mind. Maps like Rust and Shipment and Vacant and Terminal, all of those sorts of maps they can definitely add. Like just classic Modern Warfare 2, 3, even COD 4 maps. Just start adding them to the game as sort of DLC, as bonus maps, so that we have more 6v6 maps to play that are just a little bit smaller and have better flow and things like that. As far as the existing maps go, there's no reason, really, why they can't do an update where they sort of just cut off little segments from the map on the current 6v6 maps to try and make them a little bit more fast-paced. We've seen similar sort of things happen with free-for-all maps in some of the older CODs. I think it was Black Ops 1. I can't quite remember which games it was, but I remember distinctly there were a few maps on some older Call of Duties where on like free-for-all and things like that, they would actually just cut off certain segments of the map, just block them off. Obviously change the size of the map just by blocking off certain parts, which I think is definitely viable for this game. I think there's definitely a possibility that they can do that. Whether they'd want to or not, who really knows? I mean, obviously they've spent a lot of time working on the maps, and the maps look incredible. They just don't play as well as they should because of how big they are. Another thing they could totally do and change is just the spawns on the 6v6 maps. I think the spawns on a lot of the maps just seem to be kind of far back. I think if they push the spawns sort of further towards the middle of the map, a lot of the time it would work a bit better. So for example, where am I going to spawn now? Okay, so for that, for example, that was pretty good. The fact that we have all flags right now, I just spawned at B, so that's pretty good. But a lot of the time I'll find if I'm playing domination and we have A and B flag, for example, it will spawn me at A rather than at B, meaning that I have to, like, you know, try and sprint across the map to try and get back into the action. The maps being as big as they are takes a while, you know. You spend a lot of time just running from C all the way back over to B, and it's not too bad on the 6v6 maps and maps like this, but on the 10v10 maps, that's a real bitch. The other most obvious thing they can do is change the minimap back to normal. Just put red dots in the minimap when people are firing unsuppressed weapons. Because right now, I want to know where this guy is, because he's just tried to challenge me from there. And there's more people shooting over that side. I can hear them in my headset, but I have no idea where they actually are. I'm going to run into him at any point, and I'm not going to have a clue where he is. Another thing that I think would really, really help is not necessarily to make the weapons weaker, but to make the players stronger, if that makes sense. Just give everyone's base health maybe 10, 15 extra points, so that instead of having 100 HP, they have 120. I know that's a weird concept, but it definitely seems like I'm dying, and it seems like from almost every single person I've spoke to, you die very, very quick. And it kind of makes things like stopping power rounds and, you know, other things like that just kind of redundant, because you really don't need them, like, at all, in the slightest. When you're able to body people across the map in, like, 2 shots, why would you need to go and use a certain piece of equipment or a certain perk or a certain operator or whatever to try and make your weapon more powerful? It doesn't really have any use. If every player had slightly more health, obviously it would take very slightly longer to get the kill. It would definitely just make for a bigger skill gap, and I think it would just work really well, to be honest. Personally. Right, I'm going to try and play out the rest of this game and hopefully get some nice snipes, and hopefully not play like complete shit for the entire video. I apologise. Thought I'd just put down my tack insert, but apparently it didn't fucking want to work. Hello. Hello. Thank you. Trying to push that. Yeah, see, playstyles like this just seem to become more and more viable, and you get rewarded for it, and it just... like, that's just not what you want to see. That's the sort of death that if I was streaming, I'd be screaming my little bitch tits off right now, because I can't believe how much of a disgusting young man that guy is. I don't know, man. Oh, look, there's my tack insert that I never spawned off of. It's a weird one. Not great, man. Not great. Anyway, this video is definitely more about the conversational topic rather than the gameplay. There's going to be a lot more gameplay videos coming here soon on the channel. On Saturday this week, there is going to be the first of a new series called Modern Warfare WTF Moments, which I'm sure you guys will very much enjoy. I'm going to put a lot of time into editing it, and I mean, the way this game's going, the clips are coming out like there's no tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of episodes of that one. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to drop a comment and tell me your thoughts on the game so far. If you could pick one thing for this game that's going to affect it best and change it the most to how you want it to play, tell me, what's your one change? Whether it be the minimap, the maps, the spawns, the time to kill, whatever. Tell me what you think is the most important. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. I will see you over in the stream. I'm going to be streaming as this video goes up, so feel free to come on over to the stream. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video on Saturday. Have a good one. Ciao.